this situation that happened with your brother and Will Smith, where we from, that type of shit happens often.
Yeah.
You telling a joke, somebody takes it a little too personal.
Right.
That's
like the basis of joking in the hood, like
in the
snapping,
hood,
snapping, ranking, whatever you call it, Jones, and that always happens.
Happens
in that forum, not on the highest televised event in history. You know what I mean? Not there.
Right, and I think your brother summed it up the nice way when he said, "Yo, we not supposed to fight in front of white people."
Exactly.
But what I wanted to know is, has that ever happened to you where you was digging too deep into somebody and you making everybody laugh and somebody took it too personal, and how did you handle it?
That happened to me one time. It didn't go that far, but I was in LA. This was like my first week in Los Angeles.
Right.
And I'm a New York comic. I don't know that they play that red, blue stuff to the heart.
Right.
I'm just telling jokes. And there was some cats in the room that was blue and some cats over there that was red. And I'm joking back and forth.
And they in the room together.
Yeah. And they was, throwing they across the room. Yeah, all right, nigga. Oh, pussy head, nigga. And I'm like, oh, y'all serious with that, man? Like, come on, man. Y'all niggas just why don't y'all go play somewhere? Go play basketball or something. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Shirts and skins, nigga. Like, what we doing?
Right.
And one of the dudes was like, nah, man, we don't play with that. And I'm like, all right, calm down, bro. It's a comedy club.
Right.
And he was like, nah, we don't play with that, bro. And I was like, all right, first of all, bro, like, we don't do that here. This is comedy.
Right.
And I'm going back and forth with him, but I'm being funny. And he's like, all right, I'll see you after the show. And when the show was over, that motherfucker was outside waiting for me. And then it was a couple of Mexican cats. This is how crazy that gang culture is in LA. True story, I swear to God. There was a couple of Mexican dudes that was in the room, and they was like, hey, yo, fool. Like, you know how they talk. Yo, fool. Yo, we don't fuck with those dudes either, man. Yo, we got your back, bro. And those dudes made a phone call, and some Mexican dudes pulled up. And I was like, yo, hold up, bro. This is just comedy. It ain't that serious.
Word.
And when I walked outside, I was like, I got to go outside because I can't be like the dude that's like won't come outside. So I went outside, and the Mexican dudes was there. The red cats and the blue cats was there. And the blue dudes was like, yeah, it's all good, man. Like, yo, you said you from New York. You don't know, bro. But we don't play with that, bro. And then the Mexican dude was like, yo, we got you, bro. And I was like, all of this over jokes? Like, y'all really take this serious?
And you smack dab in the middle.
I was like my first week in LA. It was like my fourth day there. And I was like, oh, they really take that serious.
Right.
Because, growing up in New York, we didn't have no gang culture when we were young.
Yeah,
when we were young.
Right.
When we was young, it was like, we thought that was like, man, we don't do that, man.
Yeah.
It's like, we kind of was like, that was kind of corny to us.
It was almost funny to us because the only thing we saw was on television.
And we saw the way they looked. We were so
Jerry
opposite
curl,
that. We like, yo, Jerry
it was
curls
comical.
and the big shades, like the blue blockers. We like, yo, we don't do that. So it was actually like we shunned it back then. So now that New York has a gang culture is actually kind of weird to me.
Yeah, it is. And it's the same way you said, like how they take that so serious out there. That's how now, like, because New York gang culture has been here since '93. So it's people that's so deep in it. In the beginning, like, we kind of had a choice, like, bro, we not doing that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not, I wear this red. It ain't got nothing to do with no gangs. You know
no
what I mean?
affiliation.
Right, none whatsoever. But now it's so dug in, like, you see people getting indicted and gang injunctions and stuff like that. So it's kids in New York that's not playing with this gang shit nowadays. And literally kids.
Like you said, they love it. They love it.
Right.
The man, they love it.
Right.
Because they're like, that's easier. It's easier for us to put you on some charges.
And they catching them with them Ricos was made for the mafia.
Right.
Like that wasn't even made. Like they looked at us.
But if y'all want to be an organization, we will consider y'all too.
Yeah, we gonna lock y'all up too. So since you said that, like growing up in New York, there were no gangs, but that was a time when New York was New York.
It was gangs. It wasn't like the
Bloods and Crips. Yeah,
it was like you represent your block,
right?
Or you represent the park that you.
And we talking crack era.
Yeah.
This is
the worst time in New York.
This is dangerous New York. This is the New York that they tell you to beware of.
The worst time.
The worst time in New York. How do you navigate out of these type of situations to where you get on the path? Because this is early stages of your career.
Right.
How do you get on the path that got you this far? Because I'm pretty sure you got friends that in jail. Died, stuff like that. This is a dangerous time.
I saw one of my homeboys back in the day, may he rest in peace. I saw him get his head blown off. Like literally
in Brooklyn.
Right on the corner of Saratoga and Decatur. My mother sent me to the store. I'm coming out the store with the brown paper bag with the groceries.
Right.
My boy standing there. I used to play basketball every day. We would play ball all day and then coming back on the block and play football on our street, but we would play in the park, play basketball in the park. And he used to play with us all the time, but then he started getting money in the street and stopped. So I'm coming out the store with the bag of groceries, and he's like, "Yo, you still playing ball?" Yo, I'm like, "Yeah, you ain't coming out there, man. You too busy getting money." He had stupid, like, he was like the 4-finger ring, Big Daddy Kane look,
Right.
look. You know what I'm saying? The cuts in the eyebrows, trying to wild out, standing by the payphone with the pager on, like that was his office.
Right.
And he's like, "Yo, I might come out there today, man." I'm like, "You ain't coming
You
out
ain't
there, man."
coming
He's
out
like,
there.
"Yo, what time y'all gonna play?" I'm like, "Around 3:00. Well, let me see how today go. I might come out there." And I'm walking across the street. And you know how you walking around your neighborhood. It's summertime in New York. I'm walking,
Yeah.
I'm watching girls, kids is playing. And I turn back and look back. And when I look back, I see the dude jump out the car, got him, right? Got him, and he go for the reach. The homie on him already. He go for the reach. Boom. And I still start running like, oh shit, like just saw my boy,
It's your man.
my man, or out of here.
How old were you?
14, 15.